Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing out there? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, usually we ask for, hit the subscribe button or something, but do me a favor. We're going to play a little game here. There's a link in the description. If you'll just click that link and give me the old, vote. There's a vote, who's the best channel or something like that. Hit me with that if you would real quick. Just take one little click. Appreciate that. We'll see what we can do there. Hey, this is a quick stock market update show we do to talk about the stock market. Off to the right-hand side of your screen, you can see that a whole lot did not happen today in the stock market. It was rather quiet. Right? There wasn't a whole lot going on there. So we'll cover everything. We'll go through it here. And sorry about if I'm emailing. If you're one of our customers or somebody, if I email you back, I'm testing out like the ability to just dictate an email, like talk to the computer. It thinks I say a lot of bad words. I don't know, sorry. So if you get an email from me and it seems a little odd, chances are I was talking into the computer there. I didn't mean to say whatever. I'm not responsible for that. It's the dictating software there. Hey, remember there's no show on Friday, but you can see that at the bottom, so no need to research that as well. We do have some great videos if you want to check them out. They're called Fin Tips. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do a video. On Monday, we did a video about the seasonal stock market performance. In other words, how does it perform in this little window, looking back through history there. We also gave some of the international stocks as well. That's on our research site if you want to take a look at that. Today we did the average retirement plan by our customers. You can see that if you'd like to kind of see where you land with all of our customers there. And this Saturday, actually, I'll be chilling with Josh Scanlon from Heritage Wealth. I'll be on his channel, I believe. We're going to try to do something maybe where it's on both channels, but going to get together and maybe share some cool things. He's a brain, by the way, if you're not familiar with who that is, but he invited me to come be a part of his Saturday show, so I don't have a life, and I figure out just, yeah, that sounds good. So this Saturday, if you want to look up Heritage Wealth on YouTube, we'll be there Saturday at like 8 o'clock Eastern, I believe is what he's shooting for. So we'll hang out and see what comes of it. Hey, let's look at the stock market today. We'll go over to the Dow to start things off. You got the Dow there towards the bottom of the performers here today. It came in third place out of 4 major indices. All in all, not looking too bad there. Still about 0.5% positive year to date, and it yields more than bonds. So, I mean, there you go. It wasn't that there was like a, one laggard or some big performing stock up or down. It was kind of just a mixed day for the Dow in general. You look at Boeing, that will stand out as your biggest performer, up 3%. On the day in total was the biggest contributor, and then Chevron. We're going to be talking about some oil stocks today. Chevron 2.18% today, one of the bigger gainers out of the Dow overall. If you look at the Nasdaq, I believe the Nasdaq comes in last place, actually selling off there a little bit towards the end of the day and did turn negative. If you look at the Nasdaq, it's up, well, it's called about 4% year to date. Today was mostly the earnings names and some Chinese stocks as well. They were kind of the standouts there. You're going to notice Alphabet. It was a big gap up today on earnings. Closed the day higher by about 7%. We covered their earnings yesterday and everything going on there. Pinduoduo hits a new high. It's one of the Chinese names if you're familiar with that. These guys have had pretty good performance here lately because of Alibaba. So Alibaba gaining 3.5% on the day. That was an earnings-related stock from yesterday. However, more clarity came out on what they're going to do with Ant Financial in terms of coming up with those regulations, not as strong as they were thinking. So the stock basically reversing all of yesterday. If you're looking, oh, that's going to be wrong window. There you go. Packer. Or PCAR is the ticker symbol there, 4% gain on the day. Good old industrials. Pointed this out the other day. The industrials that were pulling back were the ones showing the most strength. And so PCAR pulls back right on top of support there, and one of the better performing industrials today if you're looking through that. In the NASDAQ. We look at the S&P 500 up 2.5% year to date. Today is basically Google is going to be your performer there, or Alphabet, both classes of shares there. There you go. That's the reason for most of the gains. Actually, at one point today in the S&P, for most of the day when it was positive, it was purely positive because of these two stocks. You got Alphabet and Google. It would have been flat today. The S&P would have literally been flat all day long without them there. You notice you got Diamondback Energy. Ooh, that's your best gainer today in the S&P. This was my top pick in my 2021 predictions for, if you saw that video there. Best gainer today, and it's all oil related. ExxonMobil comes in a rare third place as far as being the biggest contributor to the S&P's gains today. If it weren't for Alphabet's earnings, this would have been the leader, which doesn't happen all that often. If you're looking at the S&P 500, you're all right, right? You're maybe impressed even with where it's at. Sitting here near record highs, bouncing right off the 50-day moving average, and you would be okay from this point if there was a little chop. Knowing the market will be at highs, overnight or something, but it'd be okay if the stock market went sideways here and sort of digested that late 2020 move going into 2021. So something maybe to consider there. Hey, Cody.
Yeah.
Somebody said we need to be more entertaining.
We need to be more entertaining.
Hey, you got any jokes?
Oh, you're just gonna put me on the spot, huh?
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head. No, we're not in the entertainment business here.
No jokes. Okay. I mean, I have card tricks or something. I don't know if any jokes I can like share on here, but what do you want? I want you to get your dough straight. People that are like, hey, he's not as entertaining. I don't know. What do you want me to do? All right, think of a joke. You got a joke? You're going to work on something. Oh, he's going to Google. All right, we'll let him do that there. We'll go to the sector breakdown for the day. Energy. Look at energy. Great move today. Remember, we talked about this, that financials and energies, those pullbacks, those were the buyable pullbacks. How do you tell if a pullback is buyable or not? Kind of walking you through that day by day. That's very important if you can spot those sort of things ahead of time. But if you look at the energy sector, best performing sector today, easily. Here, come on over here to our little portal. This is what we use with our customers, and it's a little bit small. There we go. Energy up 4.3% on the day. Clearly the outperformer. It's always that neon green one there. Over the last 5 days, it's the best performer as well. If you go inside of energy there, you can see the buyable pullback. Everybody likes to see that. And today it was a broad rally. We very quickly see that almost every single stock was higher on the day. If you're looking at returns, there's your Diamondback. That was your best performer here today and continues to be the best performer, almost back to new highs. I like Apache also, like that little rally that we saw today, about 5.8% bouncing off the 50-day moving average, and a little partial to Occidental Petroleum. They were nice. They gave us some warrants for our customers there, so kind of like that as well, up 6% on the day. It was all based on oil. Oil came out with some inventory data today showing that there's less supply, right? So there's been a drawdown in the amount of supply of oil overall, right? So you could say the demand is there, right? So why do we need more oil, more gas? What are we doing? Maybe we're out traveling more, airlines are flying a little more, and so you could say demand is creeping back there, drawdown in oil. It's a good thing for the price of oil if you happen to be looking around at seeing what was going on today. Look at communications services also. This is mostly just driven by Google today. Here's Google's both classes of shares, Alphabet up here at the top. All in all, it was a decent day, but without Alphabet, you wonder if it would have been the better performer here today. Taking a look at through some of the performers, you got Viacom. Now that's a fake bounce going on in Viacom. Just today's little bounce, not a big deal. And Facebook, where's Facebook at? So Facebook kind of in chop land here, if you ask me, but just want to point out it's a bigger weighted position in communication services. But what do you do with that? That's a tough one to start a new position there. I don't know, personal opinion there. So far, well, yesterday we had the Amazon thing. Jeff Bezos kind of moving on, going to go run for government maybe. What do you think? He says he's going to go focus on like political things. I think it's a political thing. Or focus on sustainable energy and green stuff. I think he's going into government. What do you think?
No.
No?
No, he won't. He's too big for government.
He's too big for government.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very clear what side he would be on if he did, but I don't know. I'm throwing out that little prediction. But nonetheless, it was a slight distraction from earnings. Earnings so far have not really been that good. There's been 417 names that reported earnings, and not bad in terms of responses. You got 84% of them beating on earnings, 77% beating on revenue. However, the average move is a loss of 1.28%. So if you take all those stocks together and pretend you had a portfolio, right now you'd be down 1.28%. You've got Netflix is one of the better performers there with about a 17% gain. Let's see if we can just go over. I'll show you a few of them here. You got your goofy stock. That one's in the lead there. Right? This is the better performer on earnings, up 21% when they released their earnings. Sally Mae in there, that new highs. That's one of those under the radar kind of rally stocks, up 14% on earnings. And then Skyline, which just recently broke out, that's going to be because of earnings there. American Airlines, bigger earnings play. It's pulled back since then, but those are some of the better performers in terms of having a good response to earnings, given that the majority of stocks have actually fallen. To give you an idea, look at some of the weaker ones. We just covered Harley-Davidson yesterday, right? Big weak one there. Pets.com, also a big loser on earnings, down 12.6%. Alcoa also gapping lower. You could see it right there on the charts. And MarineMax, although I like, we own the stock, so I like what it is, what it's done. But a negative reaction on earnings, just to name a few stocks there for you to look at. All in all, earnings season not performing well. So if you happen to own a stock and you're going into earnings, you know now that the average move has been to the downside in terms of full days performance. So don't be surprised, if you see a little bit of a move lower. That's kind of the flavor of this earnings season. If we go over to new highs and new lows, not a very active list here today. You got 8 new highs, no new lows, but you had Vertex. Yeah, that was the one. Vertex now coming in, trying to be the closest one to making new lows. Currently, you have Perigo. That is the one that's closest to making new lows, even with today's move, but Vertex now goes into second place. So you got that one, you got AT&T, you got Verizon in there, all very close to lows, but new highs today, you're going to have Alphabet, naturally. You're going to have IPG, Interpublic Group there. It's kind of an interesting break. So you had a nice quick move, and instead of pulling back, it just held. Just sideways, ever so quiet, kind of boring there, and now starting to make that next move, so looking good there. You got Raymond James hitting new highs as well. They are the namesake of the Super Bowl stadium for this weekend. Huh?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I did it. So, Super Bowl coming up here at Ray J Stadium, and Raymond James, that's their name. They're the ones that put all the money to have their name on the stadium there. Hitting new highs as well. It's been a nice performer here lately. Raymond James actually doing well in terms of their growth if you happen to look into what they do and all that. Microsoft hitting new 52-week highs as well. And lastly, you've got Avery. They make labels. It's over here, Charlie. It's over there. Yeah. I knew you were going to want that. Avery. So they make labels. And they're killing it, right? Earnings did well there. All in all, really good performer before earnings and now into earnings as well. So bucking the trend there as far as stocks that are selling off on earnings. If you have questions, feel free to ask questions. I'm going to move on to some of the stocks in the news, and then I'll see what I can do to answer your questions and go from there. Amazon. So that's going to be earnings related. It's also going to be Jeff Bezos moving along. Just coming back into this range. You feel bad. It's kind of like Facebook. This has been an underperformer for the last couple of months. We thought maybe this is your chance. Still is the chance that maybe this starts a new uptrend, but you don't like to see it pulling back here today. Apple, the company themselves, they're putting in $3.6 billion. They chose Kia to make their electric vehicles. And I think they could have chose better, but $3.6 billion they're going to be putting into Kia so that they can eventually have Apple electric cars. So that's the news there. EA Sports, it's in the game. They missed on earnings, lowered guidance. That was the big focus on earnings there, down 5.5% on the day. Alibaba, that was, we talked about that earlier, so you know what's going on there. And Under Armour, up 5% on the day. They are canceling their licensing deal with the NFL. So no more there, up 5% on that news. By the way, Sony. You see Sony today over in Japan. Overnight, Sony was up 12% here in the States as well. Did really well. Wow. A lot of subscribers to their, and purchases, obviously, of the new PS5. And their financial division did well. Sony is not just a game maker, movie producer, and all that stuff. They actually are in the lending business as well. And that's about 15 to 17% of their business, and that's going well for them over there. So something interesting to point out. All right, let's take a look at your questions and see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Matthew says, yeah, but they make really good labels. Yeah, apparently. Huh? Apparently they do. Mm-hmm. Amazon makes cheap, but yeah, they make everything, man. Yeah, that's true. You don't like Alibaba, Miriam? Or you don't like the company? Yeah, I gotcha. Uh-huh. Ford up like 30%. Actually, automobiles in general doing really well. Briefly touched on this the other day. The automobile industry is currently sort of in favor. That's where all the action's at, Ford participating in that. So that's all part of it. General Motors, look them all up, doing real well, especially over the last month and a half or so. Yep. Maybe a little bit extended there. Yeah, PayPal's earnings out. They did come out with earnings. I believe they did well, as a lot of people were expecting them to do. Where is it trading at? PayPal. About 5%, 263.88. That'll be off the charts tomorrow. Looking good for them. Yep. Thoughts on investing in commodities. Your DBC is the most popular one there. I like it because it's broad. I don't like a pure gold play. I don't like a pure silver play. There's a lot of ETFs for those. SLV is one of them. It could be a sloppy mess. You spend a lot of time not really gaining any traction there. American Airlines to furlough. Yeah, they talked about this yesterday. United as well. Somebody else was the other one. So I think this is the first step. Was it AAL or United Airlines? This is the first step of them saying, which this is not new news, by the way. This came out yesterday. Their first step to tease the government and say, we need a little bit more money. Yeah. Car prices are high. I would agree. I would agree with that. Yeah. I've been hearing that all over the country from customers. Not cheap. GameStop AMC update. Is this the aftermath? Is it still in progress? I'm not really following that. It's drama. It's all there. I mean, the game is over, if you're asking. There's no way it's going back up to $300. I would make that bet. Thoughts on the cruise ship stocks? Last couple days, actually, the COVID-sensitive type stocks, little bit of a wake-up there. Now, I don't know that it's, the bottom's in here, like for Carnival, the new bottom, you would call it. But yesterday I pointed this out. All the top performers happen to be the ones that were weak around the whole virus mess there. So, yeah, it could be. It could be. We haven't looked at some of these in a while. Norwegian up a little bit. Yeah. I don't blame you. It's one to keep an eye on. We'll see what happens. Oh, you want to be broad on your DBC. Okay, yeah. Yeah. In that case, I mean, it's maybe something you look at, you buy it on a down day. Get a little bit of a discount. Yeah. How's an average guy get in on the Wheels Up SPAC? I don't think you do. Yeah, because it's not on my list. Is it on my list here? Let's see. We get a list of these IPO type things that you can invest in ahead of time. I don't think so. Problem is when they become these high profile ones, they get gobbled up quick. But while I'm waiting for the stream to catch up there, I'll check real quick. No, it's not there. Oh, nope, wrong page. So it's going to be called Up. And no, I got a whole bunch of them here. Nope, they're not on there. So don't think you do. Will Wall Street bets strike again? I don't think so. Now, I think there's too much now manipulation. How do you know that it's not somebody else playing games, right? Or that it's some of the bigger guys in there pretending to be somebody to try to push everybody in one way? There'll be something else, of course, but I don't think that's going to work. Yep. No, I don't think GME. I don't think GME is going back up there. Sorry, anybody that bought it. The game is fading fast. Yeah. If Biden, who received the vaccine, still wears a mask, is that a bad sign for the future? Is he wearing 2 masks? Well, I saw Fauci the other day. 2 masks. Really? 2 masks. What are your thoughts on Amazon CEO? I like the guy. Yeah, no, you can't argue with their choice, given that that guy actually made consistent profits for that division of the business. Yeah, plus he's been there forever. What, 20 years? It'll be fun to see the first real... It's like getting a new government leader, right? What's the first big thing that they try to do? And then you see what support Bezos puts behind him, right? If they haven't already talked about it. Like the idea of buying retail on a pullback. Nope. So this is because of the GameStop issue there. 5% or so of XRT is in GameStop. So you're getting back to business as usual. You will not see this just take off and start to go back up here. That would it would sort of infer a rally across the retail sector. You're not going to see a rally across the retail sector, if at all, until later in the earnings cycle. They're the last to report earnings. So any excitement between now and then would just purely be any other retail stock that for some reason blasted off like GameStop. And I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. Miriam, no mask state. Come on down to Florida. It's it's hit or miss down here. We just been doing what we do this whole time, you know. Not much of a shutdown here. You like wearing the mask? We're talking about masks now? How'd that happen? that was weird. What do you guys want to sell masks? Is there a mask public company? How about 3M? They got the shaft, huh? Made all those N95 masks, and then it turns out just cloth over your face will do the trick. I bet they were pissed. Yeah, that's crazy. You need you to put some grayscale BTC in my port. Oh, nope. I don't think we're allowed to. Nope. I did it. Yeah, I think that's it. We got enough going on there. That's all I got. Yeah. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for hanging out and supporting us. If you would, go in the description there. Click that link. Give us a vote. Let's see if we can skew. We're going up against somebody that's got like 1 million subscribers. So, I don't think it's something lot's going to happen there. But let's see what we can do. And appreciate all the support. Enjoy the rest of your day.